In this video, I'll be highlighting some of the helpful tips that you can use to succeed on MyLab statistics. So when you're in a weekly module, there will be a link to the homework assignment, and when you click on that, a page like this will appear. For instance, this is the Chapter 3 homework. I usually have like a quick tip or reminder of some things that might be helpful for that chapter at the top. And then to load the homework, you'll want to click on this button right here. This will open up onto a new browser. So some things to note is to avoid using Safari as a browser. Rather, you should try Chrome or Firefox. This is the #1 issue students run into. So for instance, I'm actually on Chrome right now, and you'll want to make sure to turn off pop-up blockers because when I clicked the load button, it popped up onto a new browser. So just some things to be aware of that you might run into. Now, the practice problems worksheets that I provide, those problems are very similar or even sometimes the same as the homework. So make sure to use those worksheets while you are watching the lecture videos to take notes, as well as pull them out while you're doing your homework. So there are a variety of tools within MyLab Statistics. So here's the Chapter 3 homework. The first question is a video check-in to make sure that you're watching the videos, and then the remaining are the homework questions. So I'll go ahead and open up question 3 here and just show you some aspects of MyLab. So MyLab recently went through a refresh, and they've made some of their useful tools more easy to find. So towards the bottom here, there are some options. If you click on the Help Me Solve This, this will guide you step by step through your homework problem. Note though that you do not get credit for it. So this is a great way to practice the problem and learn it, but then you don't get credit, and then you'll have to hit similar question to get a new question and then do it on your own. The most popular tool that I know students use is actually the View an Example. When you click on this one, a very similar problem appears. Same story, just different numbers. And then it walks you step by step through the process. So it's kind of like having a solutions manual in front of you without the exact solutions to your problem, but it's nice because you can also follow along that way. Please be aware though that in these examples, they do not show you how to use Excel because the publisher or MyLab doesn't know what kind of technology that we're using. It'll just say, hey, use technology. In our class, we use Excel. In another stats class, they might be using a different technology, R, SPSS, doing it by hand, graphing calculator, whatever it might be. So just be aware that my supplemental content with the Excel files and tutorials are intended to help you with the tech pieces. Now, all you do is when you're in either the Help Me Solve This or View an Example, just hit the Continue button and it'll just go through the steps of the problem. And you can even click the print button here. I've had some students that will print out like the solution so they don't have to do the continue clicking through, and some students will like print it out onto paper and then write notes on it. And then when you're done, you can just hit close. Other helpful tools can be found under the Get More Help. So if you need to look something up in the textbook because you can't remember, you can click that. StatCrunch is a technology that the publisher provides. It can do the problems or the calculations similar to Excel, but note that all of our course instruction is focused on Excel because that's the most common technology used in business. Companies don't know what StatCrunch is and would not use that. So that's really like a backup if you need help. There's the Tech Help button if you're having some technical issues, and then what you should be familiar with and use regularly is the Ask My Instructor. This will let you send your specific question, because everybody has different numbers, directly to me. So in your message, you don't have to repeat the question, but you can tell me what you attempted. Hi, I need help. I tried this formula, and describe a little bit what you did, but got the wrong answer. And then just hit send, and that'll send to me. It's helpful when you tell me a little bit of what you attempted, because then I can tell you where the issue might be or the error might be. If you don't give me any context, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions for the entire problem because I won't know what specifically you need help with. So just be aware how I respond is based on what you put in your messaging to me. Go ahead and close that. You can attempt the homework problems an unlimited number of times. That just means that when you get to the end of the problem, if you want to try again, you'll hit the button here that says like new question or similar question, and it'll restart everything. Be aware though, when you do that, the previous question disappears and any work you did on it is gone, so I won't see it. However, I don't advise students to repeatedly attempt homework problems. It's just not helpful to your learning. In other words, if you're stuck on a problem for 10 minutes, contact me using the Ask My Instructor. Spending more than 10 minutes frustrated with the problem is not going to help your learning, and I don't want you to hate statistics. So just message me. MyLab is very sensitive to rounding, and you'll notice that with each question, there are rounding instructions in parentheses just behind. So make sure to carefully read the rounding instructions and to understand what's being asked. So for instance, when it's saying nearest hundredth, that's the second decimal place to the right of a decimal. So think cents. Other times it might ask for 3 decimal values. Sometimes it'll ask for 4. Sometimes it asks for a whole number. So you just want to pay attention and answer the question based on that. However, if you do have the right answer, but you're marked wrong because you rounded incorrectly, not following the instructions, don't redo the whole problem. Just send me an Ask My Instructor and say, hey, I got the right answer, but I rounded a little bit off. Can I get credit? And as long as it's close enough, I will manually grade and give you the points. So you don't have to redo that part of the problem. I don't want you to have to do unnecessary extra work. You'll notice the boxes are quite small. So if I'm typing in a number here, you can see that it's very small. One tip that I recommend is over here under this gear, it's the settings. You can turn the on-screen keyboard, and I'll go ahead and hit on. And what that does is when you click into the answer box, a bigger box will appear, and then you can type in your answer using your keyboard, or you can type in your answer using the keyboard on the screen. Either way works. And then you just hit the return button here to enter your answer. Note that you actually get 3 tries for these answers. So I'll actually just try a different answer. You can see it. And then you can see here, final check. So it means I get 3 tries. On the final try, if you're still incorrect, it will give you the correct answer. And then you can go and check what might have happened. And then again, if you click on this, it'll remind you what you answered and what the correct answer is appearing in the main box. You can also get some additional information that'll remind you about that particular problem or the formula process. Whenever you see data like this, rather than copying and pasting or typing into Excel, there'll be a little blue box here and it will allow you to open the numbers in an Excel file. That should save you some time and effort and also potentially human error in data entering your information. So I'm just going to open up the Excel file, and then you can see the numbers are right there, and then you can work, using the Excel formulas that I teach you in this class to answer the question, for instance. So if you have any questions about the MyLab homework system, please let me know.